Hey everybody, how you doing? So I just thought I'd make a quick video on this Alex Belfield situation. I've not made an Alex Belfield video for about 2 years, so I think it's overdue. So as most of you know now, he's gone to prison 5.5 years, so he'll be out in about 2, I would have thought, on good behaviour. What do I think about this situation? Well, first of all, regarding the stalking and harassment, which is why he's gone down for, I think it is extremely worrying. Now, yes, people are talking about donations, but that's a completely different matter. He has gone down for stalking and harassment of the old BBC, Jeremy Vine, and a few others. He's very smug. He took a lot of donations, but that's not why he's gone into prison. It's because of this stalking and harassment. So let's read on. Alex, 42, was found guilty at a trial at Nottingham Crown Court last month. So he went for sentencing. He was relentlessly stalking campaign Jeremy Vine, labelling him the Jimmy Savile of trolling. Jurors accepted that Belfield caused serious alarm and distress. So basically, he was making YouTube videos on a famous BBC person, Jeremy Vine, and for that, he has been put in prison. This is the first of its kind. We should all be worried about this. I personally will not be celebrating this. My personal feelings on Alex Belfield and the fact that he took donations and went on lots of holidays, including foreign holidays, is a separate matter. I cannot reiterate that enough. He has gone to prison. He hasn't physically gone and stalked anybody. He hasn't gone and touched anybody. He hasn't broken into anybody's house. This is all online. This is all done publicly as well. This wasn't done little secret emails. This was him doing his live streams and his videos talking about various BBC presenters, mostly Jeremy Vine, who, may I add, is a tosser. It reads on. He was also found guilty of a lesser stalking charge in relation to Channel 5 and BBC presenter Jeremy Vine and theatre blogger Philip Dehaney. BBC Radio Northampton presenter Bernie Keith was left feeling suicidal by a tsunami of hate. So this swami git is looking happy. Bear in mind as well that when he was found guilty, I think it was back in July, most of his charges were actually dropped. It was just this one and one other. So I felt like I had a fish hook in my face and my flesh was being torn. This is from the Hurty words. So jurors convicted Belfield of 4 charges committed between 2012 and 2021. Your offences are so serious, only a custodial sentence can be justified, said Mr. Justice Sanini, or Saini, or whatever. So it goes on. The distress to the victims, it highlights you still appear to focus on the impact on you and feel in certain respects you've been unfairly treated. He also added there was no escape for his victims until bail conditions were imposed. So he also agreed that Mr. Vine's characterisation, I can't say that the ex-DJ had weaponised the internet against those he targeted. And again, I know that many of you will be saying he's gone to prison. You are celebrating he's gone to prison because he's a swami git, because he took a lot of donations to sue the BBC and then represented himself. Where was his solicitor fees? And he's just a knobhead. Now, that's fine, but he hasn't gone to prison for those things. I cannot reiterate this enough. He's gone to prison for the stalking. So this has set a very worrying precedent. I'm hoping that many of you are aware, but some of you may not be, at least in the UK, you should be, of the Online Safety Bill, previously called the Online Harms Bill, but they changed its name to make it sound nice and safe. This is apparently going through. It is having a reading and then it's going to go through Parliament. This is extremely worrying times. In this bill, our freedom of speech will be taken away. People like me won't be able to bring you any news. The only people that will be allowed to bring you any news will be official news outlets. This is going to be putting people in prison. This is just the beginning. This is very, very worrying. So I, for one, am not celebrating Alex Belfield going to prison. But now I'm going to talk about the other part of why I don't like Alex Belfield. But this is a completely separate matter, and we should not get mixed up with the two. Now, part 2 of this video, Alex Belfield and his YouTube channel and asking for donations. I first started watching Alex Belfield during the very first lockdown. I think it was just before that. It was around March, April 2020. And he was okay. He was quite funny. He wasn't very cocky and big-headed. And I remember him first asking for any donations to sue the BBC. Now, when he very first asked, he said he was going to give it all back. He says, "Don't worry, I'm guaranteed to win. I will return all donations." So I thought, right, I gave him a tenner. I thought, right, I'm getting it back anyway, and I'm going to help someone stick one to the BBC. So I did it. And then about a month later, he said, actually, I can't give it back because it's going to be too much hassle. So I'm going to give it to a Jim Davidson's charity. So he actually lied and we're not going to get it back. That pissed me off. If he's going to charity, that's fine. But I should have been told that. Then he asked again. He asked for £1 from everybody. All of his, 200,000 subscribers at the time. He asked for £1. So I gave him £1. This time, we knew we weren't going to get it back, but I thought it's £1. And he said he was being victimised and he wanted to sue the BBC, that they were raiding his house with the police and he was being stitched up and he was fighting for free speech and he was starting to get really, really cocky and egotistical. But at that time, I thought, yeah, he's turning into a right knobhead. But at the time this was happening last year, it was good just to give the BBC, 2 fingers. But that's when things started getting a little bit murky. He had the 2 injections. Now, many of you will know how I feel about these, and each to their own, but you can't be saying on one hand that you're all for free speech and that you're against the prick, and then on the other hand say, I had it to go on my holiday. Now, we had all these donations when we were just coming out of lockdown last summer and he was off on holiday to Spain. How did he afford that if he's suing the BBC? That's what I thought to myself. Something ain't right here. So he had his lovely holiday. He come back and he was like, I work hard 7 days a week. I put out so and so many videos. What he didn't say was that he films them all the night before. He just bangs them all out together and then just puts them out the next day. I wouldn't quite call that a full-time job. And even so, the poor public should not have to pay for that. That is a lifestyle choice. That is a hobby. We should not be funding his holidays when he's asking for us to help him sue the establishment. So I don't agree with that. And I stopped watching him about 12 months ago. Now, when I started watching him, he then went behind the paywall and asked for money to watch him. And I was like, sod that, I'm glad that I stopped watching him. And his viewers tanked. His subscribers dropped on YouTube. And then he had to come running back to YouTube. The money well dried up. Next thing you know, he's representing himself in court. Where's the barrister gone that all he ever spoke about? Where's all the hundreds of thousands of donations gone? Where are they, Alex? You represented yourself in court and you lost. So for that reason, my conclusion is that Alex Belfield, you're a knobhead, but you don't deserve to be in prison. You're a dickhead. You're a scammer in my opinion. But you don't deserve to be in prison. Look at this picture here with Jimmy Savile. It says it all. Oh well, so anyway, we'll soon find out what happens when he comes out. I've heard that his YouTube channel's gone. I don't know how true it is, I'll double check. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you agree with him being jailed? Do you think he's a knobhead? But do you think he's a stalker and that he terrorised Jeremy Vine from the BBC? Let me know what you think, folks, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!